All right, it looks like we may be live. Now, there is a delay here that I'm having to get used to. So let me know. Let me know if you hear me loud and clear here. I'm trying a whole new setup. So Jack Bauer is saying no sound. Joshua, let me know if you can hear sound. I can hear you. Dan, that's great. Thanks, Rob. Love it. Can you hear me now, Rob? That's the thing. Hey, from the UK. Yes, sound. Loud and clear, loud and clear. All right, let me see if I can edit this title here a little bit. They started streaming right before I put in the info. Let everybody know we got some breaking news here, right? Breaking news. CNN is collapsing. Jeff Zucker resigns. CNN collapsing. How's that for a title, huh? Oh man. Oh, that deserves four exclamation marks. Come on in, guys. Come on in. And thanks for your patience as I'm figuring out this whole new setup here. You guys are the best. I can't thank you enough. Such a nice voice. Well, thank you, LTL. Very appreciated. Well, it's certainly early for new president of CNN. I love it, Nathaniel. That's phenomenal. Well, I don't think I would last long. Let's put it that way. Or we definitely need a cool nationalist popular. Maybe we need a freedom convoy. CNN. Let's see. Convoy. CNN. Convoy News Network. I think I like that one. I'm going to coin that one before anyone else steals it. That'll be the new official news network for the Freedom Convoy in Canada. Gang, come on in. We're going to have a lot of fun here. It is, it's amazing. And I'll be honest with you. We'll talk about this in a bit. You know, we did, if you're regular to our channel, we predicted this. If you check out, I think it's the Colossal, it's what's the title of the video? This is the hard part when you're doing a live stream here. I think it's called the Last Days of CNN, or CNN is collapsing. There's so many of them. It's right after Chris Cuomo resigned, and it became very apparent that Jeff Zucker was going to go down with him. I didn't know he was going to go down with him because of his own sex scandal, but that's exactly what happened, if you can believe it. What's the deal with the pervs at CNN, guys? What is the deal with the pervs at CNN? It's just, it's unbelievable. But here we go. We're here. We are actually witnessing the fall of CNN. If you have not heard, CNN President Jeff Zucker has just announced his long-awaited resignation as CNN continues to just colossally collapse. We're going to take a look at the breaking news, and we're going to see why it really does appear that CNN is on its last legs. The last days of CNN really are here. So why don't we just dive right into it? And again, thanks so much, guys, for your help as I'm setting up this new camera and sound system. This is my first live stream with all of this new equipment. So our first time I tried it, it didn't work. It was falling apart. It was silent. You guys helped me out through that. So boy, I cannot help you guys. Yeah, Harlan, you said it. Veritas got him. And I do. I think there's more going on here than just simply Jeff Zucker getting caught in his own sex scandal. I think that the powers that be have pushed him out because he's been such an absolute disaster. I've got the setup here. Let me read to you the memo that he just released. This is coming from Jeff Zucker here. As part of the investigation in Chris Cuomo's tenure at CNN, I was asked about a consensual relationship. It was consensual, I promise. I wonder if that's going to get contested. I was asked about a consensual relationship with my closest colleague, someone I've worked with for more than 20 years. Oh, isn't that sweet? Is that wonderful? I'm sure his wife really appreciated that. I don't know. I don't even know if he's married. I acknowledged the relationship evolved in recent years. I was required to disclose it when it began, but I didn't. I was wrong. As a result, I am resigning effective today. Now, this just came out literally an hour ago, so this is hot breaking news. And you know, I mean, the very first thing I had to think of when I saw this, besides the fact that it's just further evidence that CNN is absolutely imploding, very first thing I thought of is, what the heck is it with all these pervs at CNN? I mean, do you remember what Elon Musk said in that fascinating interview with the Babylon Bee, which I think is so wonderful? Babylon Bee is one of my favorite outlets. So funny. They're brilliant. Good conservative Christian folk over there. But they were thanking him for being there with them and taking the time out to hang out and answer questions and actually be on site with the Babylon Bee staff there. And they said, well, I mean, you could be with CNN right now. I mean, you don't have to be with us. And do you remember what Elon Musk said? He said, no, I'm not perverted enough to be on CNN. I mean, this is so beautiful when you're seeing the new generation of populists rising up and basically saying CNN is probably the most irrelevant outlet on the planet right now. I think he even tweeted out one point CNN had done some hit piece on him, and his only response was, oh, are you still around? Do you still exist? You're that insignificant, right? Now, of course, when he talked about the perv issue, he was talking about the revelations that the longtime CNN producer John Griffin, if I recall, he was the producer of Chris Cuomo's show. He was actually arrested for inducing minors to have sex with him. So CNN has graduated, obviously, now to sex with minors among its producers. And as if things couldn't get worse, Don Lemon, I don't know, I still cannot figure out how anyone could say Lemon seriously. His last name is spelled Lemon. And when you see that, do you say Lemon? No more than you see my name and say Stephane Turlet. I mean, he's Don Lemon. That's who he is, right? And he's facing a lawsuit now over allegations of sexual assault by a New York bartender. And that's going to court. It's really fascinating. Of course, then you had Chris Cuomo getting fired because he was using his position as a journalist. Yeah, right. But he was using the particularly specialized research skills that they have there to try to cover up for his governor brother's serial sexual harassment. I mean, talk about a total implosion, gang. It boggles the mind. I didn't realize it was going to happen this fast. I knew it was happening. I knew they were unraveling. I knew Zucker was going to finally get it. But I thought it would take another year. I didn't think it was going to happen literally within days after Cuomo's collapse. And again, I think it's important for you guys to know, if you're regulars in this channel, we've predicted this. This is something we predicted would happen for some time now. We predicted that Chris Cuomo's fall would take down the Zucksters. You could see it. You could see the writing on the wall. I mean, Fredo lashed out at Zucker almost immediately. He threw him under the bus, saying that that Zucker was fully aware of what Chris was doing in terms of protecting his brother Andrew, and that Zucker was perfectly cool with it. So Zucker had to respond saying, "No, I wasn't. You're lying." And this is with Cuomo coming back saying, yeah, well, I'm going to slap an $18 million lawsuit against you guys. So it was at one, you could tell Zucker was going to be treated as the fall guy as far as Cuomo was concerned. But then we started to see articles coming out from particularly Fox News and the New York Post that said that Zucker's time at CNN was definitely limited. It looked like the higher ups were going to try to get rid of him in the parent company, and so and for good reason. I mean, Zucker has literally overseen the collapse of CNN, the colossal collapse of CNN. Zucker, if you don't know, Jeff Zucker, when Trump was elected, he saw a business opportunity, and the business opportunity was the radical partisanization of the news media. He thought that that's what Fox News was doing. Fox News was just basically giving right-wing coverage, blatant right-wing coverage, and so he thought he could do the same thing when it came to left-wing coverage. He thought that what he could do with the incoming Trump administration is channel the so-called resistance that was, he thought, rising up all over the nation. It actually turned out to be a tiny little minority, but that little minority, like the trucker convoys, as Trudeau would call it. He thought that this was a massive resistance that was rising up all across the country. And both CNN and, in fairness, MSNBC tried to position their networks as the go-to outlet for the resistance. So they self-consciously and deliberately partisanized the news. And so that's why they spearheaded their coverage with that borderline illiterate Jim Acosta, who was more of a heckler than a reporter at the White House. That's why we like to call him Jim Acosta. Zucker put him in charge, and he deliberately poisoned their news coverage with a radical left-wing partisanization while still actually pretending, lying, that they were a reputable, objective news organization. And it did seem to work, at least for a time. Don't you think? I mean, their ratings did seem to get a bump. Certainly this time last year, they had gotten a bump in January of last year. And you could say maybe he was onto something. But the colossal fall that CNN has seen since January of last year indicates that this was very short-sighted approach. I mean, you compare that to the relatively, Fox News had a collapse as well because of their pathetic election coverage back in November of 2020. But they've since recovered by getting rid of people like Chris Wallace and Donna Brazile and all these other far-left loons. And they've really Tuckerized their coverage. They've made Tucker Carlson more or less the face of Fox News. That's certainly what CNN and MSNBC and Salon.com and New York Times are all arguing. When Chris Wallace announced his resignation, they said, well, there you go. It's the Tuckerification, as it were, of Fox News. Fox News has gone all in on the January 6th conspiracy theorists and the like in the guise of Tucker Carlson and the hardcore authoritarianism of Viktor Orban of Hungary that even, again, someone like Geraldo Rivera tries to pin Tucker on, not recognizing that to our knowledge, or to no one's knowledge, Hungary has no political prisoners, while the United States of America has a number of political prisoners from January 7th onward. Or January, I guess they were arrested on the 6th. So who's the real authoritarian, right? So regardless, Fox has been able to maintain a very consistent dominance in the ratings by not so much turning their news into right-wing politics, but actually providing a very different paradigm, a more populist, nationalist, traditionalist vision of news and world events that is reflective of a mass swath of the United States of America. In fact, I would argue it is the majority, so-called silent majority, which hopefully is not going to be silent any longer, especially what we're seeing with the convoy in Canada. So I think he hoped that CNN would see a comparable consistency in their flourishing ratings. It has not happened. It's collapsed. I don't know if we've done videos on this, but CNN's ratings from this time last year, CNN's ratings have collapsed an astonishing and a humiliating 90%. They have lost 90% of their audience. And I've got to say, it's beyond stunning. I don't know of another news outlet that's suffered that kind of implosion in their audience and still maintains some semblance of a viable business model. How do you live off of 10% of your audience? It's pretty astonishing. So you have to wonder where they're getting all their cash. Pretty soon their advertisers are going to start drying up. They don't have the airport monopoly anymore. That's gone. And by the way, in some of the articles that I was reading, that was used to prop up their numbers of viewers so as to inflate the price of their advertising. So they would say, we reach 300 million people a month or whatever it was. And so thanks, Metalhead. What are your expectations with the elites regarding the trucker convoy in Canada? Yeah, and the new one reported in D.C., that's a good one. I just put up a video. It's concurrent with this one. Our morning video is on the latest with what's going on in Canada. The Premier of Quebec has capitulated to the demands of the truckers. He has scrapped the proposal to levy an actual tax on the unvaxxed because of the health costs that they impose upon the rest of the population. They were actually going to tax the unvaccinated. That's gone. He's scrapped that. The Premier of Saskatchewan has come out and scrapped any what do you call it? Vax passport. That's gone. That'll be gone as of the end of this month. And he even expressed his solidarity with the drivers. The Premier of Ontario as well, Doug Ford, has come out and said they're going to start easing the lockdown restrictions over the next few weeks. Actually, they started this Monday. So we're seeing at least 3 provinces in Canada respond to the very positively to the trucker convoy. So it's so exciting to see. Trudeau, of course, is a little baby. He's hiding in his closet in an undisclosed location, of course, because of the security threat that these fiery, but mostly peaceful protesters, right? Remember, Trudeau met with Black Lives Matter groups in Ottawa. So, he comes out and denounces violent, racist, riots and the like, and of course then turns around and says, "Now you excuse me, I have to go and attend the peaceful the fire but mostly peaceful protesters of BLM." I mean, they're just so pathetic. They're so obviously partisan. Their categories for the intolerance of racism and violence and so forth is so selective. Nobody takes it seriously anymore. We'll have to see what goes on in Washington, United States. I think they're inspiring some similar movements going on in the Netherlands and other places around the world. They are wonderful. The whole world is watching the Freedom Convoy of Canada. We always knew there was a massive populist movement. Again, we talked about that in this morning's video you want to check out. We always knew there was a massive populist movement in Canada, just waiting to rise up. All the reports and studies show there were. When the sentiments were there, they found in the surveys that populist sentiments, the notion that the real enemy is not racism, it's not bigotry, it's not this phobia, that phobia. The real enemy is the permanent political class. The real enemy is our aristocratic elite, as you put it so well. And all I can say is that this is by far, I believe, the truest manifestation of Canadian populism that we've seen thus far. So this is incredibly exciting. All right, so I think that Zucker was hoping that CNN was going to have some level of consistency in the ratings by making this move to partisanize their coverage, but it didn't happen. They went far left, they went ultra left, and even center left Democrats started to abandon CNN. I don't know if you saw this, but there's a new study that just came out that found that more Democrats actually tune into Tucker Carlson than tune into CNN and MSNBC. So I think we're starting to see a new paradigm emerge here, which is really cool. A new political paradigm where the far left is being pushed into the periphery, the political periphery, and a new center is taking hold, and it's a thoroughly populist center that's going to really stick it to our political elite. They've lost 90% of their ratings. Their audience is basically gone. I mean, 90%. They've lost Cuomo, who was their number one attraction, which isn't saying much. You could be the number one in the garbage industry. It doesn't matter, right? So they lost Cuomo. They lost Zucker. All they're left with is a bunch of D-list lineup, Even Lemon may end up leaving at some point, too. Nobody's going to notice. The ratings have collapsed. No one takes CNN seriously anymore. It's really stunning. I don't think they'll ever host another presidential debate. Those days are gone. So it really does look like CNN is finally on its way out. Their last days are upon them. And I got to say, I, for one, bid them a long overdue adios. Goodbye. I cannot wait to see them gone. All right, guys, that's about it for me. Anything else you guys want to chat about? Any questions while I'm here? We got a couple of minutes before I got to zip. My 95-year-old uncle still watches CNN. That's right. That's basically their demographic now. It's a thoroughly boomer demographic. Say brav. Thank you, sir. Very kind of you. Thank you very much. Get woke, go broke, CNN. It's true. It's true. They are the embodiment of that. James Bass, Bolsonaro, yes. They just laid to rest Bolsonaro's intellectual guru, as it were, Olavo de Carvalho. I'm sure you know his funeral mass was last night in D.C. I was thankful to God I got an invitation to attend, but I wasn't able to go down at that time. I have another funeral. Actually, I need to attend this week as well. Very sad. But everyone, pray for Olavo de Carvalho and his family. He was the great philosopher who opened up and made possible the kind of politics that was filled by and fulfilled by the nationalist populist Jair Bolsonaro. R.I.P. CNN, absolutely. Potato Head Stelter looks like he's the new poster boy for CNN, which could not possibly be more appropriate. I'm just reading through some of these. When are you hunting those rhinos? That's right, Melissa. We'll be talking about that tomorrow, actually. We have a special website you're going to absolutely love to hunt rhinos. Thanks for all your work. Thank you, Battalion. Thank you very much, Cuspian Cat. How's it going? It's going well, man. Now CNN is falling apart. It is going really, really well. Keep red pilling it, America, Dr. Z. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, I will. Do you guys like the new setup? I hope you guys like the new setup. I think, again, we may have to work on the sound a little bit here. The sound might be a little bit down, but we'll get it. We'll get it all together. I'm not a tech guy, as you can figure out, so I rely on some outside help. Our producer, Josh Williams, he's the best, so he sets things up very, very well. Where's the Salty Army Super Chat? There you go. Salty Army, they're the best. You guys are great. That's right. I haven't checked them out in a while. Salty Cracker. I got to check out their channel. I love them. They're so awesome. It gets me so fired up every time I listen to Salty Cracker. So, yeah, CNN's down. Good, guys. Salty Army, here they come. You guys are the best. You guys are the best. Ree is right. Oh, amen, guys. Amen. We're in this together. Things are rough, no question about it. They have all Whoopi is the new Candace Owens. Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg is gone too, at least for a time. We'll see for how long. Yeah, they're all falling apart. Salty streams tonight. Absolutely. I'm going to have to check in on those Salty streams. Love them. They're good. They could go a couple hours. I don't know how he has all that energy. Absolutely. Liberal Hive Mind is fantastic. Great channel. Give him a big shout out. Absolutely. Mark Dice does a great job. He's fantastic. We're all one big family. It's awesome, guys. We're an army. It's an army, and we stretch all over the world. It's absolutely wonderful. Well, I love you, Freedom for me. You're the best. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. So make sure you check out the first video today on the latest with the Canadian convoy. We are seeing at least 3 provinces capitulate to their demands. Absolutely awesome stuff. I think it's just the beginning. It's going to be awesome. And guys, you're the best. So thanks for sticking with me for my first live stream with our new equipment. I really appreciate all your help and helping me to get it set up and the like. So with that, guys, God bless. Enjoy CNN falling apart. Beautiful day. Butter the popcorn. Sit back and watch. Let's watch CNN. Oh, I got one. Looks like most distrusted name in news. Fake news. Charles is downside. Yes, I'm sorry, Charles. It moved a little too quick, but thank you, sir. Absolutely. The most distrusted name in fake news is finally earning its due, and it's been a long time. All right, guys. God bless. Take care now.